This is Nageshwar Rao, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government Degree College, Chintalapudi. In this presentation, we will explain and will discuss Fresnel biprism. By using Fresnel biprism, how can we determine wavelength of light used? So before discussing about the Fresnel biprism, we want to remember how to get interference pattern. So we know to obtain the interference pattern, coherent sources are required. Coherent sources are nothing but it contains the constant phase difference and also equal amplitude and equal frequency. So to obtain the coherent sources, there is a two classes we have. One is by using division of wavefront and by the second one is division of amplitude. By using these two methods, we can get the two coherent sources or two coherent rays. So what is division of wavefront? If the incident wavefront is divided into two parts by utilizing the phenomena of reflection, refraction or diffraction. In all these three cases, two parts of the same wavefront travel unequal distances and reunite at some angle to produce interference bands. So this division of wavefront will use in Fresnel biprism experiment and a light single mirror experiment. What is division of amplitude? Using division of amplitude also we can get the two coherent rays in which the amplitude of the incoming beam is divided into two parts either by parallel reflection or refraction. These two parts after reflection or refraction reunite after traveling different paths and produce interference fringes. In this case, it is not essential to employ a point set or point object or point source, but a broad light source may be employed to produce brighter bands. By using division of amplitude, we can see interference pattern in a Newton rings experiment and Michelson interferometer, etc. And what is Fresnel biprism? And how can we determine wavelength of light? Fresnel biprism is a combination of two acute prisms placed base to base as shown in this. These two prisms are there. This is one and this is two. In fact, this combination is obtained from an optically plane glass plate by proper grinding and polishing. It means that in which two crystals or two glass plates are attached each other or combine each other, and by grinding or by proper polishing we can get the Fresnel biprism. Biprism is nothing but the combination of two prisms. In this Fresnel biprism, the obtuse angle of the prism is 179 degrees and the remaining two angles are 30 minutes each. The total angle of this prism is 180 degrees. So in this figure there is S1 and S2 are two sources. Actually those are virtual sources. Only S is the main source of light. The action of the biprism is to produce two coherent images of a given state where S1 and S2 are two coherent sources will give, which are separated at a certain distance and behave as two coherent sources, where A, B, C, D is the Fresnel biprism and S is the monochromatic source from which the rays are incident on the biprism and deviated and are transmitted through the biprism. And the rays which is traveling from the upper prism ABD diverted and moved towards the downward, that is EH. And the rays which is passing through the lower prism is moved towards upwards, that is a GF. So in this experiment, that is bifrenal biprism experiment, consisting of an optical bench carrying three stands. One is for adjustable slit, second one is for biprism, and third stand is for telescope eyepiece or micrometer eyepiece. So the stands are adjusted at the same height, and these stands can be moved along as well as right angle to the length of the optical bench. So once again, it's A, B, C, D is the Fresnel biprism. S is the monochromatic source whose rays are incident on the biprism, and these rays are traveling through the biprism and incident on the screen. When we see there S1 and S2, two are act as coherent sources. The slit and biprism can be rotated in their own planes. The slit S is illuminated by monochromatic source of light as like sodium lamp, because sodium lamp is a monochromatic light having wavelength 5890 angstrom. The light emerging from the slit falls on the biprism. The edge B of the biprism divides the incident wavefront into two parts. Firstly, the one which is passing through the upper half ABD, that is ABD of the biprism, is deviated through a small angle towards the lower half of the diagram, towards this, and appears to diverge from the virtual image S1. Secondly, the one which is passing through the lower half CBD is deviated towards the upper half and appears to divert from the virtual image S2. So S1 and S2 are coming from the same source. Hence, the fundamental condition of interference is satisfied. So S1 and S2 serve as coherent sources. The interference fringes are obtained in the overlapping region of EF on the screen. This overlapping region, the interference fringes, bright and dark fringes, can be viewed by using the micrometer eyepiece. So, how can we determine wavelength of light? Before determination of the wavelength of light, some adjustments are to be made. The first one is the optical bench is leveled with the help of a spirit level. By using spirit level, we can level the optical stand parallel to the earth. The second one is slit biprism and eyepiece adjusted to the same height. When we are observing from the eyepiece, then only we can see the bright and dark fringes clearly. Third one is eyepiece is focused on its own crosswise, because we know that eyepiece having crosswise like this. These crosswise are used to measure the fringe width beta. The fourth condition or fourth adjustment is the slit is made narrow and vertical and illuminated by the monochromatic light. If the slit is broad, we cannot see the bright and dark fringes, and it loses its spatial coherence. And the fifth point is the biprism is moved along, that is towards the optical bench, and also right angle to the length of the optical bench till the overlapping region is brought in field of view in the micrometer eyepiece. The tangent screw of slit is rotated so that the fringes appear. The sixth adjustment is the fringes. These are the fringes. The fringes made clear by rotating the biprism in its own plane with the help of tangent screw by prism stand. And the second and last adjustment is the eyepiece is moved away from the biprism. Then the fringes often shift sideways. This is known as lateral shift. When these lateral shift is removed, the interference becomes stationary for any position of eyepiece. It is nothing but at this position the interference pattern does not move sideways or it is stationary. The reason for a lateral shift is that the line joining the slit and biprism is not parallel to the length of the optical bench. So what is formula? It means what formula can be used to determine the wavelength of light. We know the equation for the fringe width beta is equal to lambda into capital D by 2D, where lambda is the wavelength of light, capital D is the distance between slit and eyepiece, and 2D is the distance between two coherent sources. From this formula, wavelength lambda is equal to beta into 2 small d by capital D. By using this formula, we can determine the wavelength of light used in this experiment. What is the procedure? From the above equation, when we have to know the value of beta, that is fringe width, and second one the capital D, the distance between slit and eyepiece, and 2 small d, that is the distance between two coherent sources known, we can determine the wavelength of light. So the first case is to measurement of the fringe width, that is beta. For this case, the vertical cross wire, so this is the vertical cross wire, is adjusted on any bright fringe like this. Then the reading of the micrometer is noted. Now we set the cross wire one by one by different bright fringes just like this. Again, note down the micrometer screw. Then the distance between two consecutive bright fringes, which gives the fringe width beta. And how can we measure the capital D? We know capital D is the distance between slit S and eyepiece. So the distance between those two directly can measure by using the meter scale or by using the scale on the optical bench. So by using this capital D can measure easily. And third one is to measure the 2D. What is 2D? We know 2D is the distance between two coherent sources S1 and S2. To measure the 2D, a lens end of focal length less than one-fourth of the distance between biprism and eyepiece is required. It is mounted on the one of the stand on the optical bench. If the lens is adjusted into two positions L1 and L2, the sharp images of S1 and S2 are obtained and can view by using the micrometer eyepiece. For example, if the lens is L1, the rays which is coming from the S1 and S2 will pass through this by prism, and the images can see by using the micrometer eyepiece. The distance between D1 you can see by can measure the micrometer eyepiece, where U is the distance between biprism and lens, and V is the distance between lens and eyepiece. And of course, if the lens is moved from another place L2, again we can see the image of the S1 and the S2 on the screen or from the micrometer eyepiece. If the distance between two virtual images is d2, we can determine the 2d as follows. You see there from the figure, from the triangles S1, S2, L1, one of the triangle where ABC is a biprism, and U and V are the image distance and object distance. That is the distance between prism and lens and eyepiece. D1 by 2D is equal to V by U. If the lens is at a point L2, object distance is U and image distance is V. At this case, d2 by 2d is equal to u by v. From these two equations, that is 2d is equal to square root of d1 d2, in which delta s1 s2 l1 and delta pq l1 are similar triangles. From this, d1 by 2d is equal to v by u, and delta s1 s2 l2 and delta r s l2 are similar triangles. From these similar triangles, d2 by 2d is equal to v by u. From these two equations, 2d is equal to square root of d1 d2. Substitute these values 2d, beta and capital D into wavelength lambda is equal to beta 2d by capital D, can determine the wavelength of light lambda using this experiment. Thank you.